So today, we're diving into something that affects pretty much everyone online. Who actually controls your digital life? Because a new system just dropped called UIID 2. And look, this isn't just some minor update. It's a total, from the ground up, reimagining of who you are and, more importantly, who's in charge on the internet.
And yeah, let's just start with that big, fundamental question. Who really holds the keys to your online life? Is it you? Or is it a handful of massive tech companies? This is the core problem that UIID v2 was built from day one to solve.
You know, what I find so fascinating here is how a tiny two-letter change in a word shows a massive shift in power. For decades, it's always been log in with some other platform. The new vision, this Web 4 idea, is to log in as yourself. That tiny difference, it's everything. It's about taking back ownership of who we are online.
To really get why this shift is so important, we have to face a pretty uncomfortable truth about the internet we use every day, a system that's mostly built on, well, borrowed identities.
This quote right here, it's a real gut punch, isn't it? Because it just perfectly nails the power dynamic. We don't actually own our online accounts. We're basically just renting them. And our digital landlord, they can evict us whenever they want, for whatever reason they want.
And in that system, your identity, your data, it isn't treated like a basic right. Nope. It's treated like a product. It's a commodity that gets bought and sold by companies that make money from knowing literally everything about you. There's a name for it: surveillance capitalism.
Okay, so what if there's a better way? UIID v2 is built for what its creators are calling Web 4. So if you think about it, Web 2 was the rise of social media, Web 3 brought us blockchains, Web 4 is aiming to be this more decentralized, user-first internet that kind of takes the best of both worlds.
And the beating heart of this new vision is a concept called self-sovereign identity, or SSI. Let's stick with our earlier analogy. On the web today, you have a landlord for your digital home. With SSI, you own the deed. It's yours. You are the sole authority. You're the one in charge, period.
And this is exactly why they're calling UIID v2 a revolution, not just an evolution. It's about completely cutting the ties to the old system and putting the cryptographic private keys, the literal keys to your digital kingdom, back in your own hands.
So that all sounds great in theory, but how does it actually work? Let's peel back the layers and look at the tech that makes this whole revolution possible. They've basically rebuilt the entire thing from scratch. The core engine is now built on Go, which means authentications are ridiculously fast. We're talking milliseconds. The infrastructure is spread all over the globe, which gets rid of any single point of failure, aiming for 100% uptime. And the mobile-first design makes managing all this feel as simple and intuitive as, say, sending a text message.
But look, being fast and reliable is one thing, but it's all meaningless if it's not secure. And in a world where data breaches are a daily headline, this is probably where UIID v2 makes its biggest, boldest claims.
They're basically declaring war on the password, and it makes sense when you think about it. Over 80% of all hacking-related breaches are because of stolen or weak passwords. So their goal is to just eliminate that weakness entirely by shifting to hardware-level protection.
So how do they do it? By moving away from something you know, like a password, which can be stolen, to things you physically are, with biometrics, like your face or fingerprint, and things you physically have, like your phone or a little security key. It's like upgrading your house lock from a simple key to one that also needs your fingerprint just to open.
This is just a brilliant example of how you can prove you're you. Using the same tech that's in modern passports, you just tap your phone to it. Then UIID v2 uses some clever cryptography to confirm the passport is real without ever seeing or storing your personal info. Think of it like a bouncer at a club checking your ID, but through a sealed envelope. They can confirm you're old enough without ever opening it and seeing your home address.
And what about the right to be forgotten? That's a huge deal in privacy laws. Well, that's where they introduce something they call the kill switch. And this is not just deleting your account. No. They call it digital incineration. When you trigger it, it destroys your private keys, making all the data tied to them mathematically impossible to read. Forever.
Okay, so we've got a secure, private, super fast identity system. But what good is a master key if it only opens one door, right? So let's take a look at their roadmap.
Their goal is pretty ambitious. They're aiming for over 1,500 application integrations by 2026. Now, that's way more than just a number. It's a clear signal that they want to become the new universal way to log into everything online.
And they're not just targeting one small niche either. The goal is 100% industry coverage. We're talking everything from your bank account and your doctor's office to your favorite online game. The whole vision is for this to be the one and only digital ID you'll ever need.
And this idea also extends into our work lives. Just imagine getting a new job and instead of a bunch of paperwork, your employee badge and your professional certifications are just instantly and securely sent right to your UID wallet. Done.
And this final quote, I think, just wraps it all up perfectly. The ultimate mission here is to use all this cool tech to cause a fundamental shift in control away from big corporations and back to us, the individuals. It's a promise to try and restore a little bit of balance to the internet.
Which really brings us to the final thought here. This technology is promising to literally hand us the keys to our own digital lives. It's an incredibly powerful idea, but, it also comes with a new level of personal responsibility. So the question isn't just whether the tech is ready for us, but whether we are ready for it. If you were handed the keys, would you take them?